I'm Mackayla. Welcome to the Soundtrack of Our Lives podcast. We're going to jump right in with the two hardest questions of all. Who are you and what have you been up to recently?
Well, my name is Frank, and I'm a local artist here in Indianapolis. And lately, I've been working on my next EP and my next single.
Ooh, can
Ooh.
you share anything about your upcoming single and your EP?
I can. So, my next single coming out is dropping on the 1st, and it's called In Limbo. It's dropping with a music video that we just recently finished. I'm very excited about. And then the EP right now is we're finishing up, and I'll give you like the title of it. It's called Backbone, and that'll be dropping in the near future.
That's super exciting. So, as you're kind of gearing up towards the near future release, what are your feelings?
I'm very excited. I'm very excited for people to hear it. I feel like every time I'm working on a new project and it's all new and no one's heard it, you're always like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get it into people's hands and see what they think about it. Because I've heard the songs, at this point a million
Hmm.
times. And to me, it feels a little bit like old news, but when you release it, it's like it gets this fresh start. So
Hmm.
I'm really excited for people to hear it, and yeah, I can't wait.
How did you decide what order to put the singles out in?
Oh, that's a good question. Usually it's either what I've already written at that point.
Hmm.
Limbo, I wrote call probably over 6 months ago, like a
Wow.
while ago. So usually by the time the song is actually like written and produced and fleshed out, I've got so many other songs under my belt at that point. So then once we've got that done, I go, okay, I've got these songs that I like. These
Hmm.
all feel like they have a similar theme, with the sound and the feel that they've got. And so that's usually how we kind of sit down and approach, what do we want to put on the EP? And then with the order, it's usually, we've got this really hype song, we've got this slower song, and trying to find a good balance between them.
So it sounds like you always have a lot of music on the back burner.
Yeah, I mean, usually always writing. I mean, I'm always writing, but I always have something that I'm either like, okay, I'm excited to track this while I'm finishing up another single, and
Hmm.
it's kind of like a constant revolving door of writing and recording. And then sometimes we'll record stuff, and then by the end, I'm like, I got something else that I wrote that's better, so now let's take this and like push this to the forefront. So
Hmm.
that's happened quite a bit too. It just depends on really what feels right at the moment.
When you're sitting down to write a new song, what does that process look like for you?
It changes. Usually, I have a studio at my house that I'll write in a lot. Like nightly, I'll sit down and usually I'll just kind of open up a new project, lay down some chords, or say I've got a title idea or maybe just some lyrics. Usually, there's something that kind of kicks off the creativity. And then I'll kind of build it from there. But usually I'll start with different instruments to some chords. I'll sit on it for a little bit and then it will kind of flesh out over time. But it changes. Sometimes I'll just be singing about what I'm doing and then I'll be like, "Oh, that was a good melody." And then I'll just take that and I'll go sit in the studio. So sometimes it's planned like I sit down and I try to write and sometimes
Hmm.
I get an idea when I'm not even in the studio.
It's the consistency of scheduling time to be creative.
Yeah, sometimes I don't feel like doing it, but but I do it anyways. That's that's a big part of it is sitting in the studio every night, even if I'm like tired or I'm like I don't know what I'm gonna write about.
Hmm.
Just sitting down and like doing it exercises that muscle of writing.
Right. I think some people assume the music just comes like
Mhm.
whenever, but you have to
Yeah,
practice.
you have to, and it does. There are times where it does just kind of come naturally, but I've also had so many great songs where I think even this next single, it was one where I sat down and I don't think I really had an idea of what I was going to write about. I
Hmm.
just wrote out this bass line and this melody, and I was like, I like this feel. And then later, I had this topic of the song I wanted to write about, and I was like, these two will pair up well. And so it ebbs and flows. It kind of changes each time.
So when you're sitting in the studio and you're feeling really unmotivated, what do you do to kind of get motivated again?
Usually, if I'm really stuck and I'm kind of like hitting my head against a wall, I'll step out of the studio. Sometimes it helps for me to change my environment.
Hmm.
That's a big thing is I'll get a little like cabin fever. So I'll go and I'll like make tea or I'll sit down with my dog. I don't know, I'll just kind of like go for a walk. That's always a good thing if I can. But changing my environment and my space and kind of getting out of my head helps me a lot because it's easy to sit and fixate on an idea or wonder, why can't I get this,
Yeah.
sound writer, what piano sound do I want? And this kick drum doesn't sound good, and you kind of start to spiral. So
Hmm.
usually I'll remove myself and I'll come back with kind of fresh ears and a fresh perspective.
You mentioned a dog. What kind of dog do you have?
I have a terrier pit bull mix. Her name is Grace, and we rescued her, I think it was like last February.
Oh,
So, yeah, I've got her, and I got a little three-legged cat and a leopard gecko. So I've got
quite a collection.
yes, yes, we do. I have plenty of animals to keep me entertained and busy. So I
Any
love it.
plans to get other ones?
It's funny you ask because I recently was talking to my husband, and we don't need any more animals in our
Hmm.
house. I don't know if we could fit them. But I mentioned, I was like, I feel like Grace would love a brother or another dog to play with. She's still young. She's like
Hmm.
just over a year. And I was like, maybe when she gets older, like we can get another dog or whatever. But we talk about it. But I think the reality is we gotta wait because we've already got a lot of animals running around. And I don't know if I could do two dogs and a cat and a gecko. It's a lot to take care of.
Hmm.
But I would love to have a ton of animals if I could. If I had the space.
Hmm. If you could, what animals would you have?
Oh, that's a really good question. I would love to at some point have land and be able to have like chickens and we talk about getting goats at some point.
Hmm.
I love so many different animals. I mean, if I could have, I really want a donkey. They're the sweetest things. They are so sweet. And then a ton of dogs. I'd love to be able to open up like a rescue shelter or something at some point and be able to rescue like dogs and cats and just different
Oh.
animals and have tons of land that I can hang out with them. There's this guy on Instagram, I can't remember his name, but his whole thing is that he rescues dogs that are either
Hmm.
euthanized or they're injured or they were abandoned. And he has all of these acres. I don't know why I can't remember the name of his account, but they literally tons of acres and he just walks with them and they all like huddle around and they hang out and they're happy and he just has this like beautiful little haven. And I look at that and I'm like, that looks like heaven. That looks nice. So
Yeah.
something like that would be great.
I know I really want a dog, but
Mhm.
currently my lease does not allow it.
But see, that's another tough thing is before we got a house, we really wanted like a cat or a dog or something.
Hmm.
In an apartment, it's just sometimes it's so hard because
Yeah.
they don't, and also with pit bulls, some apartment complexes don't allow certain breeds.
Right.
Like I like big dogs. I like big breeds like German shepherds and pit bulls and all the big ones. But
Yeah, I know my brother just got a cat and I'm so jealous because I want to get a dog.
you will. You'll find the perfect dog, the
Well,
perfect cat.
first I got to find the perfect apartment.
Exactly. Exactly.
Although I wonder if a gecko would count, like, would they count that as like, because I feel like when they say no pets, they usually just mean like dogs and cats.
I'll tell you this. When we got our gecko, we lived in our apartment and we didn't tell them about it because I was like, it's a gecko. Like you
Right.
I don't think it will do much damage. It doesn't really leave his little, cage too often. But I say just look at
Like
me
a
being that
fish.
influence. I'm like, just get something and it's not like they're gonna know about it unless they watch this interview or go through stuff. But I say you could get a gecko. They're
Yeah, I've,
fun. Bearded dragons are cool. I love
yeah,
those.
just something that won't cause a lot of damage
Mm-hmm.
or like stays in its cage.
Exactly.
Or like a fish.
Fish are great.
I feel like do fish
They
count
usually
as
stay
pets?
put. Yeah, I would say that, well, you
That's
could pet them if you wanted to, but I would say that they're not really going to get mad at you for a fish. I say get a fish.
hopefully my landlord doesn't listen to this. I don't think he does.
If you get fined for having a fish, I would be very concerned. They're just finding you for no point.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I feel like fish is kind of like, eh,
Hmm. Yeah, they don't really do too much.
yeah. They're not, yeah, like especially like goldfish do nothing.
Yeah, they really don't do much. I had a goldfish that lived forever,
Really?
for a really long time.
Because they
Yeah.
always tell you they're not supposed to live long.
He kept going and I ended up giving him to like a neighbor or something because I was like moving out or something and I was like I just can't take care of him anymore and so I gave him to my neighbor across the street and he was happy to have him and yeah. But they're easy. I did pet it every once in a while, I will be honest. I didn't really have an animal that I could pet, so I put my hand in
Yeah.
the tank.
Why not? You have to pet them. It's your pet.
Oh, we need a little bit of love.
Yeah. That's why I feel like some animals are harder because you can't like you don't pet them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like if I have a pet, I want to be able to actually pet it, snuggle, or.
Mhm. Yeah, that's when dogs and cats are great.
Or a
Hmm.
donkey. You could pet a donkey.
You absolutely could. Don't
Probably
know if that.
snuggle with one too.
They are honestly, they're very cuddly. They're really, really sweet. They're like
Really?
big. They are. I met this one time and it was like rubbing his head like against my leg. Like he just wanted to be scratched. And they're so sweet. They really are.
I'm not sure I've ever met a donkey.
I recommend it.
Okay.
You
That'll be
would.
my next goal.
Yeah.
Next month, I'll
You'll
meet a donkey.
need a donkey.
So, aside from, having an animal sanctuary in the future, what other kind of things do you have lined up for your music?
Ooh, well, currently I've got a show coming up next Wednesday in Chicago
Hmm.
that I'm very excited for. This EP dropping, hopefully getting more shows, more writing, more music. Just continues to be the goal. Just
Hmm.
continue to enjoy it and love it.
For somebody who hasn't seen you live, what could they expect?
Oh, well, if it's like a full live set, a lot of energy, a lot of heavy bass lines, a lot of fun, a lot of powerful dramatic music. So, if it's an acoustic set, a little bit more laid back, a little bit more like music focused and just kind of different interpretations of the song, which is always fun. I always like doing acoustic sets and like full sets, but yeah, very fun.
Do you have any favorite shows or most memorable shows you've done?
Ooh, that's a good question. I got to open up for a buddy's band last September at the Hi-Fi, and that was a really fun show. It was a great crowd. And then I got to open up for my buddy Byam a while ago for one of his headlining shows, and all the crowds were just really great. You know, they had great energy, they were
Hmm.
excited, and it was a lot of fun.
I feel like when the crowd is into it, the artist is into it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, the crowds are everything, and
Hmm.
especially in Indiana, all the crowds are incredible. I mean, maybe I'm just being biased because it's my hometown. But I mean, I've played shows before, like in Chicago when I was in my band years ago, and they were acoustic sets. And I mean, Chicago crowds were great as well, Louisville, all of that. But Indiana crowds are just like, even the shows I've been to
Hmm.
in Indiana, like the crowds are always so hyped and it's so much fun.
Yeah, I feel like both as a fan, it makes it more fun when everyone else around you is into it.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
even if you don't know who the artist is, if everyone is really into it, you're going to be like, I need to check them out.
Yes, the energy is very contagious with live music, and that's why I love it so much because
It's the
when
best
you're
thing
in a
about
room with a
music.
bunch of people, it's like, how can you not be having a good time when there's great music and everybody's like excited and singing and
Hmm.
just having like you forget about everything else.
That is the best thing about live music. Just being
Hmm.
in a room with either 10 or thousands of people
Yeah.
and you're all having the same moment. You're all feeling the same feelings.
Hmm. It's magical. It's wonderful.
It really is. I think
Mhm.
people forget how important it is to have those moments.
Yeah, I really do. It's one of those things that it's by far my favorite part of doing music is getting to perform live and like see people. Because I mean, I love recording, I love tracking, I love all the other aspects, but when you get to look people in the eye, you know, especially people that like listen to your music regularly and they support you, I mean, that's just like they're actually showing up at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, they press play, they watch your videos, they support you, but when they come to the show, it's like, "Oh my gosh, you came to support me. Like that
Hmm.
means the world." It's just it's very heartwarming. It really is.
Are there any specific like fan moments that stand out to you?
There's so many. I think after shows when this last show I did in India, I did a So Far show. I think I talked about this in my last interview, but there was a gentleman who, when he was leaving, I have the song "Sick of Yourself" that's about dealing with like bitterness and anger and kind of holding on to it, and it's kind of affecting you. And as he was leaving, he was like, "I really liked that song," and he was like, "It kind of choked me up." And it's like hearing people say that your music really touched them, it means a lot.
Hmm.
And I look back, I'm like, oh, I didn't catch his name. And it's like, you know, because there's so much going on after shows and there's so many
Yeah.
different people, sometimes it gets kind of chaotic. But moments like that, I mean, they stick with me.
Yeah, it's the special moments.
Absolutely.
Well, if he's listening, let us know who you are.
Yeah, I want to know.
I'm sure you'll find him eventually.
Hmm.
He'll probably be at another show.
I hope so. I hope so. Yeah. When people come to several shows, that always is, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it makes the moment for you and them.
It does. And to see somebody that supports you like that and like really enjoys it is, oh God, It's still kind of hard to wrap my head around.
Why? You're amazing. People are gonna like you.
Very kind. It's just I don't know. It's weird being an artist is it's such an interesting endeavor, especially for like a career path because I'm just creating stuff that I'm like I like this, I feel this way, and then you
Mhm.
put it out in the world. And when people accept it and they enjoy it or they have their interpretation, it's always so exciting to see how people adopt your music. But when people are like really are avid listeners and it moves them, it's like, oh my gosh. It's still hard to feel like I could create something like that
Mhm.
that moves another person the way it moved me. Sometimes it's kind of easy to be stuck in your own world of like, oh,
Yeah.
I wrote this song about this and it just not that you become numb to it, but you just it's I think from it being only from my perspective and like my point of view, when you get other people's perspective and point of view of your music, it's very eye-opening.
Before I ask the last question today, was there anything else that you want to mention or talk about?
Well, Limbo's dropping on the 1st, so go listen to that, see the music video. It's incredible. I'm very, very excited, very proud of it. And then keep your eye out for the EP that's dropping soon. And if you're in Chicago on the 6th, come see me.
So, our last question is, what is the soundtrack of your life?
Oh, the soundtrack of my life?
Mhm.
I'll pick a song or an album. I would say if I could pick a few artists, it would be like Amy Winehouse and Royal Blood and Radiohead and a little bit of Nirvana.
I like it. A wide variety right there.
Yeah, it's just kind of a hodgepodge of a bunch of different stuff. That's why I was like, the soundtrack's a little chaotic, so I feel like that's pretty fitting. Mhm.
So, for all of our listeners who want to stay updated on you, hear the EP when it drops, maybe see you live, where can they find you?
They can find me on Talk About Frank under social media. And then if you want to like find my music on YouTube or Spotify or iTunes, wherever you listen to music, you can type in Frank in all caps. And then if you want to research like Sick of Yourself or like My Darkness Is Not Pitch Black, those are a few of my songs in my last EP.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today.
Of course, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. Have a nice rest of your day.
You too, honey. Thank you.
Bye.